Good evening. My name is Theresa Uchytil-Etler, and my can-do spirit and determination blossomed at a very young age. I was born without my left hand, and at the age of 2 was brought to Shriners Hospitals for Children to receive prosthetic hands and therapy to help me overcome my disability. At that time, I witnessed firsthand the amazing impact of what community service and volunteerism can do in a community and to a specific child. My parents and I were able to travel round trip to the Twin Cities to the hospital without any worry of cost. And that is something that is true to the Shriners Hospitals today, that every child that goes to any of the 22 hospitals across North America does receive free treatment regardless of race, religion, or ability for patient to pay. But that's not all I received from the Shriners Hospitals. As I said earlier, they really instilled in me that hard work and determination. And one of my very first memories of me kind of having that real grit and determination happened on the playground when I was in kindergarten. And one of my first prosthetics, if you're aware of prosthetics at all, was a hook arm. And my mom's here today, and she would be the first to say it wasn't my favorite one to wear. However, I wore it, and I was real determined, and I wanted to get across the monkey bars. And I started on the first rung and second rung, and sure enough, the arm fell off, and I fell down, and what we would call today some bullies were making fun of me and said, "Oh, Captain Hook, you can't get across." Well, I left the arm on the ground, I got back up, and with the sheer determination, the crook of my left elbow and the strength of my right arm, I made it all the way across the monkey bars. So, since that time, I took up the sport of baton twirling, a very two-handed sport. Again, one of those things that sheer determination made me accomplish great things. I not only became a state and a regional, but I also became a national baton twirling champion and eventually became the feature twirler at Iowa State University. Thrilling accomplishments for me as a baton twirler, but that led me to even a bigger and brighter stage. In 2000, I was awarded the title of Miss Iowa and was the first woman with a physical disability to compete in the Miss America pageant. Thank you. And I'm really thrilled today to share with you that my legacy has inspired another young woman with a very similar disability to mine to not only go for the title, but win it. She accomplished Miss Iowa, she was crowned Miss Iowa 2013 about a week and a half ago, and she is currently preparing to represent the great state of Iowa in the Miss America pageant, and I couldn't be more thrilled. So I'm real thrilled about that, and one thing she was actually quoted in saying in the Des Moines Register just a couple of days ago was that 13 years ago, she never would have watched the Miss America pageant, but she knew there was a young lady that was going to be on stage that looked just like her. So it's one of those legacies I'm very proud to contribute, and that is really why I have continued with my great work of public service as an adult. I moved from Iowa after graduation and after my run as Miss Iowa and moved to the Kansas City area. And there I became very involved with the Junior League of Kansas City, Missouri, an organization that will celebrate its 100th anniversary in community service to the Kansas City area in 2014. It's an organization that is firmly committed in its mission to promoting volunteerism, developing the potential of women, and improving communities through the effective action and leadership of trained volunteers. There I have served tirelessly for the last 10 years as a public servant. I have chaired our annual fundraiser called Holiday Mart, bringing in over $800,000 in gross revenue to go back into the community, supporting programming for the youth, the at-risk youth in Kansas City. I also chaired our new member education program, where I was responsible to oversee the education of over 100 new members, and we were really asked to go into the community. We partnered with a local charter school where over 80% of those schools were basically eligible for free and reduced lunch. And we were responsible for instituting 11 different 60-minute lesson plans to teach on the importance of childhood nutrition and fitness. And they each had a $100 budget. But at the end of the day, the principal really praised us on the accomplishment and said the children had the most amazing time and learned some amazing life skills. And finally, the last 2 years I've spent dedicated to restructuring the organization's membership development and leadership curriculum. Today, the Junior League, over the last 100 years, has had over 2.2 million hours of volunteer service hours in the into the community, has benefited more than 350 organizations, and has given more than $14 million back into the Kansas City community. I can't be more thrilled to be here on behalf of my entire legacy, on behalf of the Junior League. And I will leave you with a quote from one of my mentors. He was a Shriner, and he lived by this motto, that community service is the rent that we pay to live in this great nation. And I would challenge all of you to adopt that motto to make our nation a better one. Thank you very much.
I'm humbled, I'm privileged to present this year's Champion Award. Her can-do spirit blossomed early. Our winner was born without a left hand. Our Champion awardee was inspired by doctors and volunteers at Shriners Hospitals for Children and committed not to let her handicap limit her ability to compete with any other child. What did she do? She became a baton-twirling champ for her local band. In 2000, she won the Miss Iowa contest and became a national spokesperson for Shriners and an advocate for Americans with disabilities. Since 2003, Theresa has volunteered for the Junior League of Kansas City, Missouri, where she co-chaired the league's largest fundraiser, generating more than $800,000. She also initiated programs for at-risk children and restructured the 1,400-member organization's leadership curriculum and membership development plan. Today, she sits on the Junior League of Kansas City Board of Directors and also serves their director as their director of training. I have a saying or a point of view that with whom you go is more important than where you go. So I'm very proud to present our Champion Award representing AstraZeneca to Theresa Uchytil-Etler.
Thank you so much. I don't find myself without words too often, as my husband and my mother can attest to, but I am without words right now. I am thrilled to be here this afternoon, not only representing AstraZeneca. Thank you so much. I am thrilled to be able to work for a company that is so generous, that not only recognizes and supports volunteerism, but celebrates it. I'm truly honored to work there. I'm also here as a representative of the Junior League of Kansas City, Missouri. As you know and have heard from my bio, I've worked tirelessly for the past 10 years. And I would be remiss if I didn't accept this award on behalf of the 1,400 women of the Junior League of Kansas City, Missouri, but more importantly, for the 293 leagues throughout North America and the UK, representing over 155,000 women. It's an amazing organization that's truly committed to its mission of promoting volunteerism, developing the potential of women, and improving communities through the effective action and leadership of trained volunteers. But that's what I've done in the last 10 years. You guys are interested to hear about my story. And as Sam and I were actually talking yesterday, as a young child born into a family of 5 girls, I'm the middle of 5 girls, I had really a choice as a young child to take 2 paths. One, to feel sorry for myself and for my family to feel sorry for myself and let me get away with not doing anything, or to take the extreme opposite, which I chose, and to really pull myself up from the bootstraps and to not only do things to the best of my ability, but to do things beyond that and achieve excellence. And I've done that from everything from as a young child with, those of you in the room last night will remember this story, but I was fitted with many prosthetic hands as a Shriners patient. The first one was a hook arm, one that I didn't necessarily like to wear too often, but I was trying to get across the monkey bars in kindergarten, and I had my hook arm on. Of course, the hook arm fell off, I fell to the ground, and kids were making fun of me and calling me Captain Hook. It didn't deter me, it determined me more to get back up, and with the strength of my right arm and the hook of my left elbow, I made it all the way across the monkey bars. So at that young age, I knew that I wanted to show my peers that, again, I wasn't just their equal, but I was better and could show them that. That went on into my baton twirling career. I started twirling at the age of 6 in a recreation baton class. And the instructor at that time wrote a nice letter to my mother saying I thought that I had a lot of talent and potential, and could she teach me privately. And since that time became a state, a regional, and national baton twirling champion. And I can remember in my years in competition, I never wanted to be judged any differently than the other girls with 2 hands. And my coaches worked tirelessly to help me become that great baton twirler and utilize the left side of my body, do flips and rolls and whatnot, so I could be judged accurately. And I think one of the best score sheets I ever got was they put a big check, which is good. Checks were good. A big check by ambidexterity. Yay! So that was fun. But I didn't stop there. There was a woman in our National Baton Twirling organization whose daughter had been Miss New York, and she had pulled me aside and my mother and said, "You could be Miss Iowa. You need to go and try for that." And that was the last thing on my agenda. I didn't want to go and be a beauty queen. But the Miss America organization is the #1 scholarship program in the world for women. It has a talent portion, and it has a platform opportunity for me to speak on passionate topics. And so I got involved in the pageant organization, and in 2000 was the first woman with a physical disability to not only win Miss Iowa, but to go on and compete at the national level at Miss America. So it was thrilling to be able to blaze that path, and I'm thrilled to tell you today that the current Miss Iowa 2013 is a woman just like me. She was born without her left forearm, and she's getting ready to compete in the Miss America 2013 competition. And she shared with me last week that back in 2000, she happened to watch the Miss America pageant only because there was going to be a girl on TV just like her. So again, it's one of those passions that I'm truly honored to have been a part of. And then the Shriners Hospitals, I would be remiss if I didn't talk more about them. They truly formed me and shaped me as a child. I was really inspired by them and the volunteerism that that organization shows. That's really what gave me the passion to give back. That's an organization that provides free, world-class health care to children of all sorts of disabilities, regardless of race, religion, or family's ability to pay. No one pays a dime to go to those Shriners Hospitals. And when I was Miss Iowa, it was my goal to visit all 22 Shriners Hospitals in North America. And I did it in just 15 days. But it was amazing to go and interact with those patients, their families, and give back to the local Shriners organizations and the temples and the men and the women that make that organization run. I'm truly honored and humbled to be here. I'm so thrilled that my work continues to inspire people. I continue to give back through AstraZeneca. We have a local Kansas City AstraZeneca program where I chair our annual Christmas Red Bag group, and we donate gifts. We've donated over 500 gifts and $900 back to adopt 9 foster children. But just amazing work that we're doing on the grassroots level, and I'm passionate about this, and I want to continue to building the bench forward. And I think just the Jefferson Award really embodies what I do with being engaged, measuring impact, training, and more than anything, being that inspiration to the next generation. So again, thank you so much for this amazing award, and good luck to everyone else here. Continue doing your great work.